Hi everybody, this is a very short video. For the last several weeks, Dan Neidle has been suggesting to me that the Clifford Protocol, that's the recoupment of signature credit in the way I've described on various videos, webinars, documents, etc. You can see all of my research at Ecclesia Law, as I've mentioned a number of times before. Dan Neidle persists in saying that it is a fraud and that there's no evidence that it's ever worked. Well, we've had success, and we had last year 600 million of confirmed IRS recoupments before a major sabotage event, which is all being disclosed to Dan Neidle, which he actually caused because he wrote all of his blogs, and certain members of the Republic of Old Souls US team then decided to undermine the recoupments by filing a fraud report, which is a fraud identity report, to the IRS because they wanted to distance themselves from the program because of Dan Neidle's posts. So he actually caused the 600 million of sabotage, $600 million of sabotage. So since then we've recovered and we've refiled everything, and our tax specialist and our electronic filing specialist, was very happy to continue. If it had been a fraud, why on earth would we have an IRS licensed electronic filing officer repeat all of the filings again for our 3,000 grantor trust members? So anyway, since then I've sent forensic reports, I've sent justifications, I've sent technical documents, I've sent all the proof, and I've also sent my own $4.4 million wages and tax transcript, which is what's being talked about here. And still, after all that, Dan Neidle denies that it's real and that there's any evidence, which is quite ludicrous in itself. So what I've done is I've offered Dan Neidle a 1-year personal recoupment free of charge. So we will do 1 tax year of recoupment for him. That means that he could recoup a past mortgage, loans, credit cards, bank payments, even his PAYE, the PAYE tax deductions from his exorbitant Clifford Chance salary that he had back in the day when he was head of tax at Clifford Chance. I don't think he will accept the offer, but you never know. But here's the rub. If he doesn't accept the offer, then he's further compounding the problem he's got in the Texas case against him, which is going to sue him for damages, for tortious interference in all of the 3,000 recoupments, because there are contracts in place between US members and trustees. So he's tortiously interfered with those contracts. And then the big one, which is vicarious liability. Because of Dan Neidle's posts, he basically has caused the $600 million of sabotage, which Amy Sanger openly said that she was very worried that the tax filings that have been gone in, she was the head of the trustee department, were fraud. And that's because of Dan Neidle's blogs. It's all bullshit. It's not fraud at all, as I've demonstrated over and over on all my technical documents, and the fact that we'd already had successes and we had 600 million of confirmed IRS wages and tax transcripts, which is very significant. So, short video. Dan Neidle's got this challenge. I've given him a 1-year offer. We'll do 1 year, one tax year for him. We'll prove it works. And if he doesn't accept it, when we get to court and he's facing the judge in Texas, he's going to have to explain how he justifies not taking up the offer, how he justifies ignoring all of the evidence that's been presented to him, that this is a very viable program. And by then, many of our members would have had results from the recovery of and the refiling of all of the sabotage cases. So Dan Neidle's going to lose. He's probably going to be made bankrupt by this case, because it is a $100 million damages claim. Thanks for watching.